This is a HeadGum podcast.
This ain't that long-term vision and invest. This is time to get that cake quicker than Sexton. If you about that fast money sensation, it's time to open up your ears to Twinnovation. Getting Oprah money, getting Oprah's money.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to another episode of Twinnovation, the podcast for your schemes, dreams, misdemeanors, cons, grifts, hustles. Any way you're making that money, we're here to help you. And as always, I'm joined by my lovely twin brother to my far left, El Jefe the Jefe, Jeff Rosenberg. Jeff, welcome. That's our tugboat right there. We love them. Hope you're all fueled up for this episode because we're going pretty hot and pretty heavy. And to my immediate right, she's the queen bee, known as Queen A. That's Anna Merda Nikolic, folks. Hey, baby. How we all doing out there? We're in year 3 of the quarantine, of course. At least it's summertime.
I've adjusted to it.
We've all adjusted.
Steve. Happy summer. I guess last week was Memorial Day.
Yes, last weekend was Memorial Day.
Bring out your whites, as they say.
Yeah.
Do you have any good linens, Dave?
Oh, I have linen suits that I'll probably be wearing. Jeff, I noticed you were at some big pool party this weekend with over 300 people. It looks like you guys were drinking from an ice luge, too, which is the smartest when it comes to hygiene during these times.
Actually, the luge itself kills the bacteria because it
freezes it. Yeah, I would have thought. True? I would have thought heat would kill bacteria.
Heat's actually what the bacteria likes, Dave. You know, that petri dish. You know, that's the recipe is hot and wet. You know. I can see cold and wet being an issue too, but I hear you, brother.
I think the ice luge is disgusting.
Well, it depends who you're doing it with at the end of the day. Know your friends, know their lips, their issues, their problems. Don't forget, you can have STDs on your face, of course.
Of course, that's where I'd say half of them live there.
Oh, you're not wrong about that, brother. Not at all. Guys, for any new listeners out there, this podcast is, of course, about ideas. It's about creating the next iPhone, the next Switch, the next Palm Pilot, if you've been around long enough. And what we do is we pitch those ideas to each other, to the nation itself, and we call that the mud pit. That's where people sort of get down and dirty. And so that's what the show is all about. It's so that we can all make money together. So, that gag economy can work for all of us at the end of the day. We're trying to get you that second, third, and fourth stream of income. And speaking of streams, that Piss Twin shirt is still up in the slop shop.
Very good, David. I love that. Good promotion. And actually, by this time, I think we said it last week, but by episode launch, you will see a new shirt in the Slop Shop store.
Do you want to tease that out at all, Jeff, or not?
I think we teased it out a little last week. You're going to have to follow us on the Twitters, the Instagrams, and you'll see a deep Memorial Day discount on top of everything.
That's great, Jeff. That's fantastic. Yeah, and as far as this show is concerned, we're going strong. We've gotten a lot of feedback saying the show has helped them through their ups and downs recently, more so the downs. I guess if you're excited to listen to the podcast and already feeling happy, we love that too. But it's nice to know that we're helping some young Steve Jobs out there pick himself up by the bootstraps. And, a lot of these listeners that we have today in 20, 30 years, they might be the CEO of your Banks of Americas and whatnot. And so that's why we are fostering these relationships with you now, so you don't forget about these little pigs when you guys are all
probably the one single Bank of America after all this consolidation, Dave. But we can save that for
buying time with Baby Davey, of course, where we talk all things stock, depression.
Would you like to record
recessions.
An episode after this, Dave?
Yeah, I might be interested in that. So, check that out on our Patreon. Guys, I don't want to jump the gun here at all, but in terms of how this show is structured, I take a long time to do my pitches. So that's going to bring us right into, ooh, you guys smell that?
You.
It's the
beef of the week. Moo. Sponsored by Panera.
Of course, Panera is in that beef game for the long run.
We actually, speaking of Panera, we took a little trip Memorial Day and picked some Panera up in the city.
Just don't rub it in, Jeff.
Ugh, hope that was fun for you.
Yeah, Jeff, don't be rubbing in Panera when we don't have access to it.
Well, I mean, you say you're how many miles away from me? What do you mean? I'm just saying.
Dirtbag move, rubbing the Panera on his face, knowing how much she loves it.
Yeah, really. And also, why would you go into the city to get Panera? Why wouldn't you just go somewhere a little bit more removed?
We wanted to see what the city looked like. It was more of a,
I Am Legend type of atmosphere.
Indeed, Dave. I actually saw someone, a friend of a friend, just got a motorcycle, and he kind of took that shot on, that like bridge going up on Park Ave there.
Oh, wow.
So it's, and it was dead. It was beautiful. We should try that out sometime, maybe, once this gets a little cleaner.
Yeah. I always tell people I used to bike through Times Square sometimes around 6 a.m. And if you beat the cars at the light, you can bike through the whole Times Square all alone. And it's
what were you doing there at 6 a.m.?
Just going to work early one day.
I don't think that ever happened.
It did happen. I've been telling this story for years. Ask your father. I told him the other week.
That doesn't mean it happened.
It did happen, Anna. What are you talking about? And that sounds like my beef. Anna always saying that I'm lying about my dope stories.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, I know you, I opened the floor to beef of the week, of course. Jeff, you piped up early on that pre-roll. What's got your panties up in a twist?
Well, they suspended the alternate side parking for street sweeping.
Fantastic.
But they, last week, I think they started it up again. So I got this one car on my block, right? I got this white Jetta with a smashed out window and like plastic wrap covering the window.
Oh, that'll be your guys' car soon after being parked on the street long enough.
Very good, Anna. Very good. I actually use the garage still. And if you guys could send me the keys, I could get access to that Instant Pot that I've been thinking about a lot.
That'll never happen.
Well, you can have that Instant Pot now that I think of it.
Yeah, you could add that Instant Pot, actually, if you want it.
Do you guys mind sending me the keys? We can talk about it after.
Of course you're never getting the fucking keys to our house. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, we don't want you having one of your pool parties.
No, that's not happening.
And I'd hope you're not even using the garage, to be honest with you. I think it takes a little too much legwork for you to get in there, tight corners.
I can see the corners are tight by the sides of the car, Dave.
That wasn't us. That wasn't us.
Jeff, so what's your beef with this Jetta on your street?
So it's got the smashed out window with the plastic wrap on the window, and she parks it in front of my house every day. And I have to look at this, beat up, disgusting, kind of like trashy car every day, every single day. Because she keeps it on the street.
Well, welcome to Brooklyn, buddy. What's the beef here?
Yeah, what's the beef? It seems like it should fit right in the street.
What do you mean? Because you think there's people
it's the broken glass theory happening on your street.
Yeah, isn't your street Broken Glass Avenue?
Yeah, the glass all over the sidewalk.
I actually live on one of the most beautiful streets in the neighborhood.
Stray cats walking around. Don't you have
Yeah, the stray cats.
Some crime boss living across from you?
Yeah, that's enough, David. And the stray cats are in the backyard, not in the front.
Fair enough.
And they're very nice, too. I'm actually thinking about adopting one of them.
Well, I don't know how easy that is to do with wild cats, I think.
These cats aren't your little playthings. They're not there for your whims of perhaps just capturing one, It's
capture is a strong word. I was thinking I would slowly feed it over the course of, a couple of weeks.
Well, Jed, leave those tomatutas outside on your back porch and see if they nibble.
Not a bad idea, Dave. That's not a bad. And that actually reminds me of something that I can chat about with you later.
So what is this? Your beef is that this is a very bourgeois kind of
bourgeois beef.
Jeff Huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's unsightly.
You're unsightly, to be honest with you.
Got it.
Drinking
Sounds
it.
like a classic 2 against 1.
Yeah, well, now you know how it feels, buddy.
Yeah.
Jeff, is that it with the beef?
Yeah, and it's actually pretty annoying that you guys don't think
someone got their
would
car
you like a smash
someone
out
got
window?
someone got their car broken into, and now they have to worry about the guy
stigma. Yeah,
the stigma
the
of
snob looking out the window.
But it's been
snobbery.
3 months. Can't she fix it? Or
can't
no,
she fix
maybe
it?
she can't.
Maybe
it's a
she lost her
quarantine.
job.
Yeah,
Jeff,
maybe she lost her job. I know you think
Have
this
some
pandemic is
empathy.
such a great opportunity to bike ride for
And
you,
let
but
your
actually
colors
people
fly.
are dying and people are losing their jobs. So.
Well, calm down a little bit, Anna. You don't need to make it that real.
Well, it's real, and I like to get real, and I'm a real type of chick. You know
Let's not forget this is a comedy podcast after all.
I don't think it actually is.
It is more of an entrepreneurial, business focused podcast. And
I agree. Well, I was actually gonna, I think the mechanics are still, the auto body shops might still be running. I was thinking about maybe doing a good deed for this lady and throwing some quarters or nickels in through the window.
Jesus,
so
Jeff, you're gonna break open the plastic.
You're gonna hurt the
wrap if you do
raccoons that are sleeping in there.
Wonderful. If there's any other beefs on the floor.
I think I thought of one, but I've forgotten it by now.
Well, you're gonna have to listen to Twinnovation Plus to hear that beef story by Anna. But we're gonna get to the nuts and bolts of this podcast and what it's all about, folks. First up in the pig pen, he's one of my favy baby Davies. He's me, Davey-o. Dave, what do you have for us today? Hey guys, what's up? Folks, allow me to pose a question.
Please do.
What's the worst part about shaving? And no, we're not talking about Anna's beard bibs. And listen to last week's episode for reference. To me, the worst part about shaving is you don't get much control over the fade, all right? The layers, if you will. Of course, with a buzzer, you can use different clip heads to get that even cut you want. But what if you don't want that even cut? What if you want that fade, all right? Now you can get that fade when you're at an upscale barbershop, for instance, which knows how to get your edges right and whatnot. But that not only takes time, money, and expertise, but you also need a gosh darn barber to do it. What if there was another way to get that professional chic and shine? Is that something you might be interested in?
I'm listening.
Introducing my new device, the Fader. Fader.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the word.
Yeah, man. I was thinking that was a clever way to do it. The last R is capitalized. It's, whatever. It's
supposed to be fading, right? What if it's like, all right, go on.
The Fader. All right. So the Fader is the very first of its kind beard trimmer that automatically chisels that beard into the perfect blend. All right. And let me paint that picture for you. All right. See, the problem is, let's say you use a number 4 clipper head on your chin here, because you want it to be a little longer, but you want it to blend it up into, a shorter number 1 version on the sideburns, okay? But you would have to use a number 2 and a number 3 clipper in between the sideburns and the chin to evenly blend that. All right, and vice versa. All right, and basically what we do is we blend beards and we blend them perfectly using an automated, 10-second, 5-second. You can control all this in the app. But what you're doing is
the app.
Yeah, there's an app connected to the Fader, and you're going to need that because you're going to need to input. It's almost like machine learning. Once you put it in, it will always operate that way unless you go in manually and change it. But you can say, for 10 seconds, I want it to go from a 6 to a 3. So you have that much time to go from one place to the other. Let's say you want it to be on a 4-second thing. You want it to go from a 3 to an 8, let's say. We provide that.
And then, yeah, okay. I like that.
Yeah. So the Fader retails for $59.99, but only for a limited amount of time. I open the floor to questions.
Woo!
Very good, David. Very good.
Because sometimes you want that angle on the beard. You know, you want it to.
I hear that. Well, more the fade than the angle, though, right?
Yeah, the fade. You know, last week I was experimenting with some beard stuff. I saw Pauly D posted this really cool picture. He hasn't had a beard in a while, and it just looked really spot on. I tried to replicate it. I took pictures. Maybe we can do a side by side.
Yeah.
But how are you doing that? You're doing so. You want it fading, like. Which way does it fade on you?
I guess I would like the sideburns to be short, and then it slowly gets longer into like the goatee, if you will.
But so do you have a lot of hair? Then is it a sharp edge from your sideburns down or not? Or is that faded as well? Where does the fade stop?
Yeah, it's all faded.
You're talking about like kind of buzzed sides, right? Kind of like the Marty, if you will.
Yeah. Mainly it's for the beard, but of course it works for the sides and back as well. We do recommend you get a friend or loved one to do the back, though. We can't make any guarantees that that's going to look good.
All right.
David, forgive me if you've already mentioned this, but what's the price point we're working with
here? $59.99, and that includes the free app with purchase. Use the QR code, and you can download the app immediately.
Okay. Well, this could be a pretty decent tool, I guess, to have around in the time of the quar, where, you know, we're doing our own hair.
Yeah, you know, I was trying to see if there was a way to, delve into more of the female consumer with the fader, but I really couldn't find an application other than those wispy neck hairs that some people have.
Well, yes, I don't think, you know, the fade is really more of a male hair trend.
It is, but, you know, I always like to make my products universal. I would hate to cut out, 50% of a consumer base.
Some girls have short hair, and maybe they would want this for the back of their head or something.
For sure.
How does the O-Flex version for females?
It's the same thing.
Okay. So my question, all right, so say you set it up in your app, then you have to go and you're going for the second swipe. It automatically resets.
That's correct, Jeffrey.
That's interesting.
It is.
The app seems unnecessary, no?
Well, you need to program it for, how, what kind of head you want to use. So that's going to actually be moving throughout the process.
Why not just have that on, like, the trimmer itself, though?
The trimmer has one head on it, but underneath, the actual buzzer will move up or down depending on what you set those pre-levels to within the app.
All right.
I think that's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
David, is it really that much more difficult to just use your traditional buzzer in this circumstance?
So I'm worried that you don't actually understand what I'm saying. So let's say you have a buzzer, all right?
Right.
How do you get the sideburn hairs short, and then you want a longer hair on the chin? You don't want to use a 2 and a 3 to get from the 1 to the 4, do you? Because then it's going to be a bit patchy. So it's almost like those little color palettes that you would see at a paint store. You know, they have 4 colors really close together. Essentially,
yes, David.
Instead of having them right on top of each other, and you can notice the difference. What we're doing is we're blending that a bit. Jeff, what is that actually called when we did a bit of that?
It's called an ombre wall.
Yes, an ombre wall. So we
ombre
wall.
Ombre.
So we want to take the ombre paint type of thing. Look it up if you have any questions. And we're blending the beard. We're blending the beard. A lot of times with barbers, you'll see them use a comb to sort of blend the side in,
Yep.
And so we're taking the comb out of your hands. We're kind of putting the comb in the razor.
I love it, Dave.
Thanks, man. Let's clap it out for me. Yeah, thanks, guys.
You're so cute.
Thanks, man.
Starting your little clap.
Yeah, I started my clap,
So I'm in as a customer. What do we say, 59 though, Dave? Price point's a little high there.
Well, this is a proprietary technology. No other buzzer clipper razor offers this. Jeff.
Yeah, plus I think isn't that in line with like what?
And I think that is kind of in line with
with the standard.
What a standard buzzer costs. A lot of times buzzers can range from your $20 cheap ones to upwards of $150. I think for some of those top line suckers. Remember those big bastards
these days?
With the 3 circular heads on them?
Oh yeah, that's kind of like the businessman of yesteryear. Kind of like shaving on the way to a meeting in your car,
right?
Or
yeah, and so we can actually we can blend you on the way to a meeting. Put you in the blender.
If you're rushing to a meeting, you would be worried about getting that perfect little fade in your...
Yeah, I just think the fade is something I've never been able to accomplish on my own. And I just don't know what to do with my beard anymore, to be honest.
I leave it alone.
I don't like the white hairs on my chin. I'd like to get rid of them.
Well, that's a whole other issue.
I might even, I've been taking a little, a gingerish brown permanent marker, and I've actually been going up to the mirror and coloring them one by one. So that's been taking up most of my day, to be perfectly honest with you. And then you got to get back to the roots every couple days, because that's growing out.
Just let yourself have gray hair. You look good with gray hair.
It's good to maintain a look of youth, though. I think.
What do you mean, youth? You can't stop the clock, boys. It's moving forward.
Can't stop the clock. I like
Time marches on, and no amount of markering your beard hairs is going to stop
their beard,
that.
though, I feel like it grows a little bit each day. It seems like you would have to keep applying it to the roots, or how does that dye work?
It's
it doesn't go
exhausting, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, I'm touching Dave's foot. Can you feel it?
A little bit, actually.
I'm thinking about going strawberry blonde on my hair and my beard. What do you think about that, Jeff?
That is your hair color.
I like that a little lighter, though. I like it. It's you kind of like take it down 3 shades in an ombre type of way.
Okay, I got you. So more strawberry or more
blonde.
Of that blonde?
Strawberry blonde, like you said, as opposed to whatever snot brown that you have right now.
Yeah, I do have a bit of a snot brown. Well, thank you guys for being in on Fader. I'm happy to see you and looking forward to the Q2 results. Board meeting will be June 14th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Is it in person?
I don't know. It's on Zoom.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
What is that? What did you just pitch there?
It's just a board meeting to look at Q2 profits. Pretty standard
Not
stuff when it comes to the P&L. Jeff, do you know what P&L is?
Yeah, profit loss. Yeah, I know.
Perfect. Would love to have you on a couple of my other business podcasts.
I'm big on the L side these days,
I hear
for being
that,
completely
buddy.
honest.
I hear that.
I'm talking big cash, Dave, down the toilet.
Yeah, well, you rose.
You love to hear it.
You rose too close to the sun, and you're going to get burned with that pale Irish skin you got. You little rat boy.
And I'm not a rat boy, actually. I'm a normal boy.
Rat boy.
Little gerbil. Next up in the pig pen, he's my little gerbil buddy. He's Jeffy, the Hefe. Tugboat Rosenberg, what do you have for us today?
Boo, boo. Allow me, if you will, to pose a question.
Please do.
Guys, what do you think the worst part about cleaning the kitchen is?
The food on the dishes.
The food on the dishes, right? Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah.
Floor is tough because you got to sweep and then you actually have to mop.
That's great. Yeah, and you both actually nailed it right on the head there.
You're talking about mopping plates and glasses on the ground. I love that, Jeff.
Is that
That's actually really interesting, David. And unfortunately, it's not that right now. We can make a pivot if need be.
A sprinkler system in the kitchen.
It's because of you're wiping down the counters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And traditionally, what do? You take a sponge and you wipe the counter down, and then
you got to get the crumbs off first, and then you wipe it down.
You put the crumbs in your hand,
that's true.
And then you toss them in the sink or the trash can.
But a lot of times they get stuck to your hand because your hand's now wet from the sponge.
That's right, Dave. It's exactly right. And even from a paper towel, wet if you're using one.
Paper towels, of course, are hurting the environment, I must imagine.
What do you mean?
You need those bamboo paper towels. Let's stop cutting down them trees.
Yeah. I agree,
Bamboo's
David.
a tree, though, isn't it?
I guess bamboo is a tree, but I think it grows fast.
It does. It does.
So walk me through your setup if you're wiping down the couch.
Let me get on his mom in here. I'm kidding. Yeah, so I mean, I
we
guess
remove everything from the counter.
Yeah, you got to remove stuff from the counter. Then you get
but are you wiping the crumbs from the counter onto the floor, into your hand?
Into your
hand,
hand,
not
into
on the floor.
Yeah.
But obviously some are getting through.
Some are getting on the ground, of course. Yeah.
Well, if you're sweeping after, it's all the same, right? Mm-hmm. But either way, some crumbs are getting on that floor. That floor is a little crummy, and you're not sweeping, twice, thrice a day. And what happens here is right now I've got a bit of an ant infestation as we get more
Oh God, that's been going on for a while, huh?
And I'm talking.
It looks like you got a rat infestation too.
Thousands of ants. That's enough, Dave.
What the hell is going on?
You guys there?
Yeah, we're there.
Dead air. That's classic dead air, Dave.
No, it's not dead air.
Dave kept giving me like a stop sign.
Because I wanted to tell you stop. It just lagged for a second. You don't have to make a big deal out of this on the pod, which you're currently doing.
Oh.
So, that's what it is. Dylan might fix it. He might not. We never know with this kid.
Yep, he's a wild card.
Apparently, he uploaded
Love you,
2 week. You guys all know about that.
Well, anyway, so I have this ant infestation, right?
Yeah.
And so I've tried the traditional methods of crunching them with my fingers in between index and thumb.
Oh, Jesus, Jeff. And then you're probably eating a sandwich after that.
Yeah, and putting the crumbs on the ground.
And I also do the Windex spray and kind of, a chemical bomb, if you will.
Do you ever think maybe the
them.
crumbs on your ground are just a bunch of crumpled up ants that you've thrown on the ground after squashing them with your finger?
No, it's usually, you get the crusty breads and you're taking somehow the floor stays dirty even though I sweep and I vacuum.
Well, your shoes will do that.
What's up, Dave?
Your shoes will bring in dirt and grime.
Of course, yes, going inside and outside. Anyway, so I got this ant infestation, working on it right now, but I'm thinking to myself, they're attracted to the crumbs on the floor, even though I'm pretty good about cleaning that up. And I'm thinking to myself, what's a better way to kind of get everything off that counter and away from the floor, introducing mud guts. Okay. What mud guts is my proprietary gutter that you can either attach to your countertop and and wipe into it and, unhook and not deal with any crumbs at all. That's you can retrofit your existing counter with the mud gut, or if you're buying a new countertop, we offer, Dave, do you remember how Mom had that kind of swiveling drawer by the sink that kind of just pops out from the top? So you have the knob on top and you can pull it and it opens into like a gutter. Yeah. So we have that, and you can, kind of wipe it all down, almost like a bar scenario, where you have this gutter and you can easily kind of put stuff in that and, dump it at will and not deal with anything on the floor. That's mud guts, and, it'd cost you, by the foot, but
how much per foot?
$5 a foot.
And what's the width of that?
It's however big you need it.
Yeah. Well, I guess the depth, perhaps. How much is it coming out of the countertop?
About 3 inches.
That's a little rough, Jeff. I think you're, 3 inches on everything. If you have an island in the middle, now you're losing 6 inches.
Well, Dave, that's why I mentioned the drawer Mom has in front of her sink. Remember this? So it comes out and the bottom stays still and it swivels out. So the top comes out into like a
so that
pit.
seems like a bit of an installation there. What are those costs for labor?
The installation is, flat fee, $50 a person, depending how many countertops, perimeter wise you have.
I love it, Jeff. And of course, I have to ask the obvious question. Everyone eventually needs to clean out their gutters. And I imagine with the kitchen, you're not going to want to have crumbs in this gutter for, I don't even know.
It's easily detachable, right?
Easily detachable, and one of the ends comes off, and you can take a little waste bucket, and you can just kind of sweep everything into that bucket there.
Yeah,
I like that, Jeff. I'm wondering if you can even put something into the gutter. What's it called? Mud guts. That sort of cleans it out automatically, and sort of. I guess it would have to be a bit on a tilt for that, but sort of something that,
right?
Some type of gutter tool.
Then you're talking about, I like that, Dave. And then you take, maybe a glass of hot water and pour that down into some sort of reservoir that you then move into your compost heap.
Crumbs in the compost. I love it, Jeff.
What if we
put everything in?
What if we could make it electronic so that it could you could press a button and this would come out for any time you want to clean off your counters?
Well,
like that. Yeah, I like that.
Of course, I have to imagine that triples or quadruples the cost of the product and the installation.
People have money and they'd be willing to spend.
That's true. I do worry, Jet, that you said that it was easily removable to throw out the trash, to throw out those crumbs, yet there's an installation fee. So how can something
those are two different products there, Dave. One is the attachable one.
Yep.
Right.
Fantastic. I love the name. I love the concept. You found a problem in the kitchen. You attempted to fix it. I think the nation out there might be able to add some pivots to really secure your placement in the Twinnovation
now
Hall
I'm
of
thinking
Fame.
a little bit, if you're into that idea, we can talk for a second there about the mopping plates. I think that's pretty interesting.
Oh, that was sort of a joke, Jeff. No one's mopping plates.
That's mud guts for you, like we said, by the foot. Do you got the guts?
I was hoping for a tagline at the end, but I didn't want to force you into it off the cuff. That's Jeff Tugboat Rosenberg. He's always coming in with the hottest and best pitches. Follow him on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. This guy is a content genius.
Oh, yeah. And follow the Twinnovation Instagram. We've totally retooled it.
We have retooled it.
And we're relaunching it. And
it's a big relaunch.
And we really need to build up those followers.
That's Twinnovation Pod on those Instagrams.
Yep.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Let's clap it out for Jeff. Mud Guts. Anna, were you in or out?
In. Love it, actually. It's pretty smart.
Yeah, it is smart. Guys, I'm super excited to announce the third person in the lineup. She is Queen Anna, and she has a really great pitch for us today.
Okay, folks. Allow me to pose a question here.
Please do.
What's one of the worst parts about modern living?
Modern living, I mean, you're always attached to your phone.
Yes.
You always need to charge stuff. I have to charge my iPad, my headphones, my phone, my laptop, my Juul.
Cigarette?
It's like I gotta charge 5 things at once all the time, which is why I'm thinking about that utility belt that I pitched very early on.
You should think about quitting Juul, but other than that, yeah. Everything you just said was mostly about charging, but I do agree it is a very stressful part about modern living. And Jeffrey, do you have any guesses?
Well, I can't not think of Dave's right now, but I guess how isolated we are. How modern are we talking here? I would say the isolation.
Yes, the isolation. Wait, what do you mean?
Do you mean modern as in current or modern as in,
I don't mean right now with the quarantine. I just mean in life in general. The life we've all been living prior to the last
I think we're all finding that the capitalistic rat race is a house of cards.
Yes, Jeffrey. Now you're getting somewhere,
40
Jeffrey.
million unemployed in America.
The seed has been planted.
1 out of 4.
So, yes, actually, I agree with everything that both of you just said, because there's lots of really tough parts about modern living. It's become a dystopian hellscape, and that doesn't even have anything to do with the pandemic. It's the world we're living in. And, it's really got me thinking about, how I want to live the rest of my life. Okay. Like after this, do I want to just continue on the path I was going on?
I'm worried about this pitch.
Or do I want to make a change that's going to improve
Anna
my
publicly
life?
breaking up with me on the podcast.
That's my scheme. Because you can't say anything.
I met this 6'7" guy named Arthur the other night.
In quarantine. So basically, if you follow me on my Instagram, I actually posted about this, not for spoiler alert, but it's already long gone by the time this will come out. Basically, I've been thinking lately, I want to have a homestead, okay? I want to have a farm. I want to have like 4 or 5 or more acres, and I want to have chickens. I want to have a barn. I want to have a home gym. I want to have all these things, right? A cow, a donkey. Maybe I've even talked about this before. This actually has been a great dream of mine.
Talk to it on the pod? Or,
I don't know I talk about it every day in real life.
Yeah, you talk about it incessantly to me.
Yes, this is a big dream of mine that I have.
You still never answered the question. Are you milking the cows?
Yes, I'm milking the cow. What
that
do
was
you mean?
my first question,
Yeah,
Dave.
I'd love to see that, Anna.
Oh, of course I can milk a cow. What the hell are you talking about?
She already does.
Oh, got it.
That's very good, Jeffrey. Very good.
Yeah, no, I would never kill. We don't kill any animals on my homestead. Okay,
Well,
we
if
have
you're
chickens.
taking eggs from the chicken, then you're killing the children.
We have the
It's not yet an animal, though. It's an embryo, Dave.
Yeah, it's just a little sweet little egg.
Pro-life, I guess you can call me.
All right, stop muddying my pitch with your slander.
You got the guts.
So it got me thinking, as much as I want and dream of having all these things, Dave and I, we honestly don't know anything about how to run a homestead. Even though, as I said, I do think I could milk a cow and learn all of this. It would be good if we could get
Can you wipe a pig?
Yes, it would be good if we can get some training.
Oh, I like where you're headed.
What better place to really get the training of what it takes to just have a homestead and mix the training of what it takes to have a homestead with a peaceful retreat from this hellish life we live.
Okay.
An internship with the Amish. I have a company that connects Amish families and farms with young people and old people, heck, anybody that wants to go to Amish country and be a farmhand, learn the tricks of the trade, and just live that Amish life that we all desperately, secretly want to live.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's wonderful, Anna. People want an escape from something, but at the same time, they might also want to learn.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And experience something new. And a lot of times, if you want new experiences, you have to pay a lot. When it comes to volunteering, like something like this farm camp, it's a win-win-win situation.
Yeah, the
Amish are winning, you're winning, and that pig and that cow are winning too.
The Amish get extra help, for free. They get free help on their farms. Granted, I'm sure we would have to stay very respectful of their culture, obviously, and learn about,
no crop tops, Anna.
What they're okay with.
Gotta hide the twins.
And what they're not. And no photos either, David. And
how am I gonna post on Instagram?
So basically, yeah, I think that there's something there, and I really want to learn how to build a barn. I really want to learn how to run a farm. Questions.
Questions. Are the Amish known for farming as well as I know they're known for constructing houses and barns, but are they also about that farm life?
Of course they are. What do you mean?
In Virginia at James Madison University, JMU Dukes, we'd seen them at Walmart all the time buying food.
Really?
Yeah. Well, they were Mennonites.
Well, yeah,
which is
Mennonites
sect,
is different, and
So the Amish are where? They're in Pennsylvania. Where
mostly
do the Amish hang out?
Pennsylvania. Yeah, Lancaster County.
Oh, remember that train trip we were on?
Yes, I do remember the train trip.
Little fun fact, Anna. Do you want to tell it or not?
I think we've already said this on the pod, but yeah, the conductor of the train told us that there are a lot of Mennonite people riding the trains all the time because that's the only modern transportation they can use because there are steel wheels and not rubber wheels. They can't ride in cars because of the rubber wheels, apparently.
What's wrong with rubber?
I don't know. I guess their carriages have steel wheels. There's something about the steel wheel thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think these people pick and choose what they want to believe in.
Oh, Jeff, don't go saying that.
Jeff, you can't insult them. I'm starting a company.
Twinnovation is
what are they going to listen to it on Spotify?
I
really am dreaming of. Don't you guys think this would be great?
I think it's great. You hear about all these creepy adult camps where the people are like, I don't even know. They just
they're swinger camps.
Yeah, they're swinger camps.
Yeah,
for,
what is adult sleepaway camp? That's all it is. Why else would you go?
Losers.
It's for people who don't have friends. Imagine.
That's definitely
or maybe
what
it's for like company retreats.
Yeah, probably most likely.
Yikes! Either way.
But who needs an icebreaker? A lame icebreaker. A good icebreaker is building a fucking farm with someone, milking a cow with someone.
Yes.
It's not saying something unique. Do
you get to now live? Are you living on their property after the camp? Like, do you get to keep the barn that you built some way by can you transport it to your new living situation?
If you're talking about she sheds.
You're talking about she sheds, I think, and there could be something to that.
What's
Jeff.
a she shed?
Just a little shed for me.
You haven't seen that Geico commercial that's been on for the past 7 years?
It's a she shed. Oh, well, Gregory, it finally happened. They burned down my she shed. You guys don't what?
I do. Yeah. There's another line in it though.
I know that one, but I'll get up on it. I don't have cable,
Yeah.
Cut the cord, which you'll have to do with no TV and internet.
We already did.
We cut that cord.
We cut that cord,
ago.
and we're moving to Larchmont, New York.
Very nice. And what are properties
we're taking
going
the car.
for?
Huh?
What are properties going? Because you're going to end up needing to buy yourself a piece of land at the end of this, correct?
No, this is like a partnership. This is basically, okay, so how I would start this would be I would go into the community. I would infiltrate, hopefully be welcomed. Then I would talk to...
Infiltrate sounds aggressive, no?
No, I would assimilate.
Yes.
And I would, make myself a friend in the community. And then I would say, if you guys need... farm help. Don't worry about hiring people. Don't worry about, how you're going to get more people. You can just use our interns who are going to come. The only thing that we might realistically need is housing. We might need to build the first project might need to be that everyone builds a barn for them to live in while they do this.
That's interesting. I think you're more so learning the techniques that they use in their life to get that homestead going.
Yes, and it could be very peaceful. I'm sure they have a lot more wisdom to pass on that we aren't even really aware of. We know they build barns, but I'm sure they know about a lot of other stuff.
And it's probably the only place where you're forced to really get away from technology.
That's my dream. I want to get away. I want to get away.
Well, so let's roll through this a little bit, though. Are you charging for the internship, or is there any exchange of cash or sort of barter system going on here?
I kind of feel like I don't know. We would need to flesh it out, but just from
I think it's a win-win situation.
I think it's a mutually beneficial situation for both parties. So
not everything needs to involve money or goods being transferred.
I hear that, Dave. But what's stopping a million people from trying to join the Amish?
That would be a good thing. Well, they can. Maybe we should make some kind of rule where you can only stay for 2 weeks at a time. You could come back multiple times, but you can only 2 weeks, and then you have to be gone for at least 2 weeks before you come back.
Well, if millions of people are interested in helping the Amish, then this might be Amish country in a couple of years, which
I like that, Dave.
Yeah, that's what I want.
All you need is
now you're living off the fat of the land. I understand that.
We're actually living off the lean of the land, Jeff. We don't eat fat anymore. We eat lean.
Yeah,
I like that
eggs.
a lot.
Lean
are these
fat,
Amish, are they paying taxes? What's going on with them?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
I just think Witness is such a good, hot movie, and I think I want a cow and chickens and a donkey and little goats and a sheep to make blankets.
What? Witness?
Yeah.
The Jodie Foster?
No, the Amish movie with Harrison Ford.
Oh, haven't seen it. We'll add it to the Twinnovation movie watch list.
You haven't seen Witness with Harrison Ford?
I also haven't seen
David,
it.
Oh my God. I think we've talked about this on a podcast before. Yes, you have seen it because we've watched it together, David. It's about a little Amish boy. He's going on the train somewhere and he's with his mom and his mom, it's a single Amish mom because the dad died. She's really pretty. And they're in the train station and he witnesses a murder.
I have no memory of this. I think I fall asleep a lot when you think
God.
I've actually learned to sleep with my eyes open, which
that's really terrifying.
Well, in the meantime, I really like the idea there, Anna. They have.
Thank you.
If you don't want to hang out with the Amish and get started right away, I think they do have this system called wolfing. Have you heard of wolfing?
No.
Wolfing is where you go around and they give you room and board and food, but you work on someone's farm for a little bit.
Yes, that I want Dave and I to do that. I want Dave and I to move out of our apartment.
I have to be a part of everything.
Because I want you to learn to build.
I know how to build. I come from a long line of lawyers and carpenters. When
the lease goes up, I want us to go move to a farm for a month and learn how to do this, then get another apartment.
So you're saying at that point I can get the Instapot?
Yeah, you can have the Instapot is full of rotten chicken, Jeff. I don't know why. Yeah.
It's not filled with rotten
chicken.
Yes, it is.
No,
it's not.
Completely full.
Was that when I was over and Dave put the chicken in without the
directly
vessel?
into the pot with no bowl inside of it, so it's broken. It's like putting he put chicken in oil into a car engine, you put it into the machinery.
Very good, Anna. Of course, she's just joking.
That's our little rat face, Dave.
I'm not joking. I'm so glad Jeff was actually there. He saw you do it, so I'm not exaggerating. Because
I did see that.
You did.
Everyone was smelt, but
All right, folks. We're running a little long, so let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Yeah.
And we're back, folks. You guys smell that? Reel it in. Reel it in. Reel it in. Reel it in. It's the catch of the day. The catch of the day, of course, brought to you by Slim Jim. Slap into a Slim Jim. The catch of the day for any new listeners out there is where we like to salute the real heroes out there, scheming and dreaming so the rest of us don't. Actually have a catch of the day, two catches of the day, and I chose that because one's a fat cat, and it's Burger King, folks. We have to give them a shout out, even though they're a big corporate cat, because they just debuted basically these new crowns, like the
paper crowns?
What do you call these, Anna?
A big sombrero.
Yeah, sombrero, but it looks like a crown, and it's huge. Essentially, it's for keeping people 6 feet apart.
Head over to the Instagram to check out a picture of it.
Yeah, it's...
Wait, so this is something they're giving to customers, or what?
Yeah, essentially. I have to imagine they're selling them but because they're pretty big, obviously they go out 3 feet on each side, so you're 6 feet apart from someone else wearing a crown.
That sounds kind of like the bubble.
Yeah,
it does sound like the bubble. It's a bubble for your head.
I like that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So we'll post the story on our Instagram, Twitter.
Is it that heavy on the head though? You're carrying 6 feet of sombrero.
Yeah, it's crown though. So
I think it's made of foam.
Yeah, it's probably made of foam or something. But it's definitely a fun little way to. Actually, I don't know. It seems like I don't know. Do we need Burger King to be, trying to?
They're always trying
to make some little gaff. I don't know.
Stick their little finger in there.
But we'll still clap it out for Burger King. They're not bad when it comes to. You never hear.
We should get sponsored by Burger King.
Yeah, but you never really hear anything bad about Burger King.
No.
They're not doing anything.
Slow and steady. Always number 2.
Old Faithful.
Old Faithful. Maybe more of a number 3.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. You talking Wendy's too?
No, we talking McDonald's, Wendy's, then Burger King. It is number 3.
Yeah, I would say that's the line. I'd say
Wendy's might be number 1 actually.
Yeah, Wendy's and McDonald's tied for 1, and then Burger King gets 3rd place.
Yes,
you don't give it 2nd place.
That's 100% right.
Fair enough.
Taco Bell can't compete because it's not burgers.
That's true.
Yeah, I agree.
And really quickly to get to our second catch of the day, obviously sports have been delayed for a potentially long amount of time, and so you have all these open stadiums right now, and there's actually one in Florida that put their whole minor league baseball stadium on Airbnb. Yes, those will be the Pensacola.
Pensacola.
Oh my God!
It's classic,
Shout out to Oscar Indiana.
Okay.
Get him on the Reddit.
No. Pensacola is what I meant to say. Dylan edited that out. The Blue Wahoos, of course. Since their season was suspended, what they're doing is allowing people to rent it on Airbnb if they wanted to, let's say, watch a movie with friends and family. You're on the field.
On the Jumbotron?
No, not the Jumbotron because it's a minor league game, but they have the whole field so they can even play baseball if they want. More recently, before the Airbnb, they actually had redesigned it to be a disc golf course, which is kind of fun. Disc golf, for any of you international fans, is, Frisbee, but for golf.
Was that like Frolf?
That is Frolf. So isn't that fun?
Yes.
It's sort of a field of dreams type of experience,
I see. Oh, it's right, I was thinking it had a dome over it for some reason, but it is a minor league team, and I imagine can you camp out there? Can you set up a tent?
Yeah, you can camp out there. You can get a little softball game going on.
It'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be a ton of fun. I couldn't find a price on it. Maybe they're keeping that.
I actually recall hearing $1,500. Believe it or not,
for one night, $1,500 to have the whole thing to yourself.
Yeah.
That's sick. Let's go do that.
Yeah.
Where is that, Dave? Pensacola?
Yeah, it's actually a waterfront home, so I guess there's a home attached to the field. And it's actually it's co-owned by that 2-time master golf champion Bubba Watson.
Hell yeah.
Bubba's always Bubba got our back. Give a strong salute to Bubba. Thank you for having us, Bubba. Guys, this brings... Oh, Jesus, Jeff. Stop going to those pool parties.
Yeah.
So this brings us to the final segment of the show. It's time for the nation to
rise up.
This is, of course, the part where the Twinnovation Nation gets to chime in with their schemes, dreams, misdemeans, conscripts, hustles. And they usually submit their ideas by emailing us at ideas@twinnovation.biz, hitting us up on the Twinnovation Pod, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, what have you. Maybe we'll even get on LinkedIn, or maybe we'll get on TikTok.
No, we're too old.
But of course, we'd love to hear your voice when you call the Twinna voicemail number, which is
1-646-926-1092.
First up, we have Hannah. Hannah, are you there?
Hey, boys and Anna. Hope you're doing good and washing your hands.
He said Anna, not Hannah.
Everyone's baking bread now, and a lot of that involves putting plastic wrap over the bowl. So how about we just make bowls with lids on it? I don't know. Anyway, it's It's Alex from Chicago. You guys know about
Alex
yay!
from Chicago.
Love you, Alex from Chicago.
Gentle
soul.
A lot of the time you have to put that plastic wrap over bowls when you microwave something. And I, for one, don't trust that plastic.
Wait, you're not supposed to put plastic wrap over anything in the microwave.
Jeff, can you chime in here? You're a bit of a culinary professional.
He's talking about making a starter. He's talking about making a bread starter.
A what?
You
bread starter.
can put plastic in the microwave.
Not like plastic, like saran wrap. I thought that's what he's talking about.
I was talking about.
Yeah, I meant saran wrap.
Yeah,
but also like
You can't put it in the
safe plastic.
No, you can put saran wrap in the microwave.
You can't put saran wrap in the microwave.
I think you can.
I'm gonna say no, even though you're both saying yes. I'm gonna still stand strong and say you cannot.
It keeps in that humidity. You don't want to dry it all out.
Seems like it would absolutely instantly melt.
That's that heat.
Tin foil is what you can't put in the microwave. So these are essentially microwavable lid bowls, lids for your bowls. I have to imagine they exist in some context, but we love to hear from you, and we love Chicago.
Isn't that what Tupperware is?
Can you put plastic wrap in the microwave? A question. You can put plastic wrap in the microwave.
This girl saying plastic map.
But it will probably melt on your food.
It will probably melt on your food?
Yeah. So basically, that's a snarky way of them saying no.
I shouldn't have been eating that plastic all them years.
Well, as I don't have a microwave, I do much of my stuff, outside.
You don't have a microwave?
The brick oven that I built.
You need a panini press, Jeff.
Yeah, you need a panini press.
You actually need a peony press, too, because I know your little wiener is cold as ice. Next up, we actually have a fan named Leah from Wisconsin.
Woo!
Leah, are you there?
Hi, big Discord fan. Also big Queen Anna fan.
Woo!
Anyway, here is my idea. So I know some of you are big road trippers.
Hell yeah.
I have a pitch about that. So those car carrier things, the things that take new cars or crash cars somewhere else, they have 2 stacks of cars.
Yeah.
Okay, well my idea is that you can get picked up by one of those and you stay in your car. And
yes.
It drops you off wherever you're going.
Yes.
Let's say you're driving from New York to California.
As we do.
There's car carriers going from New York to I don't know, somewhere Wisconsin. And you can just get off in Wisconsin and continue driving.
Oh, love it.
Anyway, that's my pitch.
That's
Bye.
brilliant.
Fantastic.
Love you, Leah.
Thank you. And she actually had a quick follow-up.
Hi, this is Leah again. I just wanted to elaborate on that last game. The point of it would be so you can just take a nap or watch a movie, but still, make good time on a road trip. Okay,
Love it.
Yes,
Love it.
absolutely.
Absolutely. So,
Woo!
Jeff, those big trucks that carry new cars and whatnot, we're thinking, why can't you just take a road trip on one of those things, sit in your car,
partially ride that.
I love that. I love that. That's fantastic, and it's a good way. You can even throw some boxes in the trunk if you're
dude, for sure.
Traveling light.
You save money on gas. Obviously, there's some type of service fee within this, but you're not putting miles on that car, which means a lot in the future. You drive to California.
So, are you using your current car here, or can you just hop into pay the price for jump on board one of the new cars?
I would imagine you would bring your own
I think
car
you
in
need
case
your own car.
you wanted to be let off in Wisconsin on the way to Los Angeles, and you obviously don't want to rent a car after unless the car that you're in is already rented. But we would much prefer if people enjoyed their own car, just because we figure during these 10-hour days maybe someone's getting a little.
It's almost like a caravan. If you got a couple different buddies, you want to go to Yellowstone, go on a camping trip, you hop in this thing with your 6 closest car friends, and
and then you have a ball. You can drink, you can Do LSD.
Then you got to hire Bubba to drive, though.
Yeah, Bubba Sparks, folks.
Yeah. Ew.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Jesus.
David, take the mic away. It gets closer to the microphone to cough.
Yeah, very good. Dylan edited out that cough.
That'll be that plastic wrap coming on through.
I just puke up saran wrap, pulling it out of my stomach.
Like a tissue, like a magician with a handkerchief.
This has been wonderful. It's really the only time I get to talk to you, Jeff, and
that's not
the
true.
only time Jeff gets to talk to me.
You guys talk all day.
Anna and I have been in the same house for 7 weeks.
What else is new?
And so we actually don't really see each other a lot either, because I've been hanging out in the garage a lot, doing sit-ups and push-ups. And I've been working out like crazy. Check out my...
You look a little beefy. You're actually looking a little bit like Ronnie, or not Ronnie.
Yeah, Ronnie.
I was going to say like a combination of Ronnie and Jax.
Hell
nice,
yeah.
Dude. Thank you, man. That means a ton to me.
Jax. You just got Jax.
I just got Jax. Dude, I love that. I want to end this.
So that's you consider that a compliment?
Oh, of course, buddy.
Jax is a horrible person on the inside, but I'm okay
But I noticed Dave's wearing kind of like the wider neck shirts, you know?
Yeah, he's an LA boy.
Yeah,
he's
I bought it.
boy.
I bought it maybe my first or second month into LA, thinking maybe I can try a new style, but unfortunately the upper, the lower neck and the shoulder hair sort of pop up out of it. So
I noticed that on the backside. You can fade that out though.
I know, but Anna refuses to give me my back shave as well as my neck shave, which is
not true.
Maybe it's something we can actually do right now.
No.
Are you committing to it right here on this pod right now?
I'm not.
Are you willing to shave my lower neck and upper back and shoulder so I can wear this hot, sexy Los Angeles shirt? Can you commit to it on this pod right now? That you'll shave my armpits, my lower back, and my asshole?
No, David. Why'd you say hole like that? Your mouth was like a perfect.
Yeah, because
the whole hole.
Yeah, he was like hole.
Oh, I forgot. Next time I grow my beard long, I wanted to have the mustache, but then also have it go all around, so it's just like a circle around my lips.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot too.
Ew, you have to.
They call that the donut.
Ooh. The flavor saver.
The pie hole. Dude, this has been fantastic. Thank you to all the fans out there that have been shouting us out, man. You are our blood, man. You guys are our blood, our breath, and our body.
We love the nation, and
if you all tell a friend, we can double our listeners by next week.
I love that, David.
Yep. Love it. Thank you again, Slim Jim. Slap into a Slim Jim. We'll be right back next week. Stay scheming and stay dreaming.
Oh, yeah. Ew.
Walking out the door, robbing their bank, got the chauffeur, mixing more pearls. Now an open screw. Chardonnay with 2 dudes for innovation. I owe you. Oprah money, getting Oprah money. Oprah money, getting Oprah money, getting Oprah money, getting Oprah money, getting Oprah money, Oprah money.
That was a HeadGum podcast.